This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Brittany is off tonight. People in flood-stricken communities are getting a better idea of the damage left behind by rising water. The financial cost is part of it. Then there's the emotional toll too, losing sentimental items that can't be replaced. CBC's Alana Cole reports.
More wedding albums. All of this would have been underwater if we didn't manage to get it all out.
Photos of Jem Kilberry and her late husband Wes. His belongings, what she rushed to save for their kids when her basement started flooding.
His pictures, our wedding albums. I still have all my cards from the funeral that I had saved because I haven't been able to read through them.
We're waist deep now.
This is what Kilberry's basement looked like after heavy rain hit earlier this week. She, along with her partner Blair Malberg and her daughter Tamsin, were sleeping downstairs because of tornado warnings when water started pouring in.
There was more water coming in than I could even bail out of the basement, and there was truly a river of sewage flowing towards me. And yeah, at that point it was save everything we could. Get out anything that's valuable, anything that has any memories tied to it for the kids or for Jem.
While they managed to save a lot, including her son's cross with his father's ashes, she's coming to terms with what's lost.
When my daughter came home and started helping me go through it, she was superb. She was like, you know what, Mom, it's okay. Like we have to throw it out, because there was, books that my husband and I had signed for her baby books, their baby bears, all that stuff, that it's full of sewage stuff.
They're now cleaning up and waiting to find out what insurance will cover. She says she was told it would be a maximum of $20,000. She hopes they'll also qualify for the Disaster Financial Assistance Program.
These 3 days that I'm not working, I'm not making any money to clean up my house, that I'm losing probably $80,000, $90,000 worth of damage I'm looking at. So I'm begging for help.
Loved ones and friends are helping as the family figures out how they'll rebuild. Alana Cole, CBC News, Balmoral.
Meanwhile, people in Minitonas are also tallying the damage from this week's flash flooding. Homes there were swamped after a heavy rainstorm early Monday morning. As CBC's Josh Crabb reports, people are worried about the cost of the disaster.
It's our basement.
It's home sweet home for Chantel Mashenko and her family in Minitonas. Downstairs, they've managed to get rid of most of the mud, water, and sewage. Torrential rains caused flash flooding in the western Manitoba town, filling basements.
You can see the water that kind of went up to about here, I think.
Soaking and destroying their stuff.
Lost absolutely everything, I would say.
Most of it now in their driveway.
Here's my wedding shoes.
Not much can be salvaged. The family has home insurance for overland flooding and sewer backup, but they say it will only go so far to replace what's been lost.
Everything's toast. 10 grand might be the max, and that's apparently a lot of people, that's their only coverage. Just put that over in the garbage.
Manitoba will make a disaster financial assistance program available to the entire province. The Premier said Thursday people should first seek compensation from their insurance provider. The Mashenkos are still trying to figure out what it all means for them.
That's your coverage, I guess. Then what do? I don't know.
Not very often that a flood like this happens. So.
Yeah, it's once in a lifetime.
Just down the road, Marcel and Elizabeth Archambault didn't have as much damage, but the flooding left behind a muddy mess.
There was water and mud combination seeping in under the front door. It looked like tar almost, but we were able to mop it up.
But Marcel's truck got stuck as he was trying to get a family member to a medical appointment with water still surrounding their home.
The hardest part at times is a psychological thing, because you can't control any of this. You don't know when it's over.
You guys are doing great.
Volunteers have been busy making sandwiches to make sure people have something to eat, and the community has banded together to help people in need.
We survived. Our wedding picture was still up over here.
The Mashenkos have been left with a damaged basement, and they lost so much. As the sign in their washroom suggests, they're trying to stay positive.
We'll try to wash our worries away.
Community leaders say the cleanup here could take months. Premier Wab Kinew says the province has an emergency social services program to help people with immediate and basic needs. Many are missing work to deal with the devastation. Josh Crabb, CBC News, Minnetonka.
Manitoba Public Insurance is responding to a record number of claims following Tuesday's devastating storm. The public insurer says it has received about 20,000 claims, on pace to be the highest number ever received following a single event. MPI expects more claims will be made in the weeks and months ahead. The previous record was 24,000 in 1996. MPI says because of the number of claims, it is putting in place a new phased approach to serve people faster. It will release details of that approach in the days to come. Meanwhile, it is reminding affected customers to open claims as soon as possible. Now, some people in Winnipeg are still dealing with the aftermath of the storm. In one community, a local school channeled that energy to help out families. Norquay School partnered with a nonprofit to hand out hundreds of meals to those who lost food in the power outage. CBC's Rosanna Hempel brings us more.
Hey there, little girl. Do you want them?
Burgers, chips, and smiles. Hundreds of people came out for a community lunch in North Point Douglas, days after a storm flooded basements and knocked out power for many in the community. Catherine Compton and her children were among them.
So we stayed in a hotel for a couple of days. We had to empty out the fridge and the freezer. We threw everything out.
They lost about a week's worth of food. Their basement also flooded and trees damaged the house.
A lot of people in the area, they're struggling with the same things that I have. So a lot of yard damage. I know a guy down the street from our house, a tree went through his roof.
Compton's 8-year-old daughter goes to Norquay School. Principal Colin Bruce Smith says food security is already a concern in the neighborhood. He got in touch with Salvation Army about Friday's lunch after hearing from kids at school.
When our families hurt, we hurt too. So, kids were coming telling us that there's no food in their fridge right now and that, parents were struggling.
He says Salvation Army's emergency disaster service got back to him within hours. Debbie Clark helped hand out meals for wildfire evacuees last year. She says her crew was happy to help again this year.
I said, you know what, if it can help, I can come with my canteen truck and serve barbecue burgers and chips and water, and this is what we're doing. All the kids in the school have received a meal each. That's over 200, and then we have over 400 here. So we've got enough food for 600 people here today.
The principal is proud the community is pulling together. Rosanna Hempel, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Manitoba Hydro has restored most power outages caused by damage from violent thunderstorms earlier this week. The utility says by last night, power was restored to all but 100 customers. However, this morning, more than 300 customers in Winnipeg's Windsor Park area lost power, and 80 customers in Balmoral were still in the dark. Staff continued to work on getting power to flood-impacted customers in the Swan River and Minnetonka area. Hydro cautions these may not be the last of these outages. Damaged equipment not yet detected or weakened trees and branches falling on lines may still result in power disruptions in coming days. A notoriously dangerous intersection in Brandon is getting temporary safety upgrades. Crews are working at the corner of Richmond Avenue and Highway 110, the same intersection where, in May, a collision between a semi-truck and an SUV killed a 49-year-old woman. Planned traffic light standards are expected to be operational this summer. Meanwhile, Manitoba Transportation and Infrastructure tells CBC News it's converting the intersection from a two-way stop to a four-way stop. Rumble strips will also be installed, and speed limits will be reduced to 70 kilometers an hour in each direction. The measures are expected to be operational early next week. CBC weather specialist Riley Lachuk joins us now. And Riley, after such an up and down week, the weekend is here, but things are cooling off, aren't they?
Yeah, we're still looking at unsettled weather, Marge, sticking around at least on the eastern side of the province as we get through the first half of the weekend. So if you want to look at it this way, 50% of the weekend bit cool and dreary. The other 50% were back into some sunshine. So as expected, still some scattered showers through southern Manitoba today. The odd rumble of thunder out of some of this as well, but as we push through the weekend, we'll see most of this instability moving out of Manitoba and actually replaced with high pressure, which will start to dry things out as we get through the back half of the weekend. So temperatures this afternoon, a bit below seasonal, 18 in Winnipeg, 17 in Brandon, 12, 13 degrees into the Parkland, and single digits with rain falling in much of northern Manitoba throughout the day today. A few showers yet to come through the Red River Valley. Things still on the windy side through the overnight hours. We'll start to see the winds dying off as we get into the morning marge, and things, like I mentioned, cool as we get through tomorrow.
All right. Thank you very much, Riley. CBC has learned before a Winnipeg woman died after giving plasma. The machine being used on her issued several alerts. That story still ahead. Stay with us. The family of a 22-year-old Winnipeg woman who died at a plasma center now have some answers. Newly released documents from the investigation reveal the collection machine flagged alerts. But as Michelle Allen reports, no one stopped the donation process.
Before Rodiat Alabedi died, the machine collecting her plasma issued 5 alerts, warnings to staff to stop the procedure, but they didn't. She went into sudden cardiac arrest and died. Health Canada investigated her death. It didn't find a connection between her death and the donation process. Her family contests this, and now they have the unredacted inspection records and death report from Health Canada. They reveal the machine flagged multiple alerts while collecting her plasma at the Griffles on Taylor Avenue in Winnipeg. All warned of high pressure in her veins. The investigation report says the pressure was above the limit to continue, but they didn't stop the process. Quebec's blood and plasma supplier says alerts like these aren't uncommon and are sometimes easy to address, but their policy is to stop collection if they can't fix the issue. She says the safety of donors is what's most important. So if there's any doubt, the procedure will always be stopped in the end. The report says Griffles staff were not aware that they were required to stop the procedure. It says staff weren't adequately trained. They didn't always follow equipment procedures. And alert documentation was inconsistent or illegible. Taishiana Jackson has worked at multiple paid plasma centers in the U.S. She says seeing 5 alerts during one donation is high.
Maybe that young lady would still be here if center management would have made sure that their team was properly trained on handling alerts and documenting these things.
An autopsy found Alabedi had an enlarged heart. Manitoba's chief medical examiner determined she died of cardiac arrhythmia. He says the alerts don't change his ruling.
So any kind of additional physiological stress theoretically could increase the risk of a sudden arrhythmia. So, whether or not having a high return pressure for a few minutes early in the donation process caused some undue stress in our heart, there's no way I can answer that.
Health Canada and the medical examiner are now both finished their reviews. Alabedi's family says they still have unanswered questions. Now they're calling for an independent review. Michelle Allen, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Winnipeg police are warning parents to watch out for extremist networks targeting kids online. They're nihilistic, violent extremist networks like the Com Network and the true crime community. Police say they target young people on popular online platforms like Roblox, Snapchat, and Twitch. They say these networks extort their victims, pushing them to harm themselves or others. Today, a police expert on the issue was asked if they're seeing violence in Winnipeg stemming from these online networks.
We are seeing acts of violence that are happening in real life that are originating in online spaces, sometimes involving people locally.
Police confirm there are victims in Winnipeg but would not elaborate on their investigations. Constable Andrea Lafort says the problem is global in reach. The City of Winnipeg is considering expanding school speed zones. The study will look at widening zones to more streets around schools and potentially busy regional roads. However, the idea already has critics on City Council. CBC's Cameron McLean reports.
Students walking to R.F. Morrison School often take this footpath, but to get there, they have to cross Buttercup Avenue, which is not part of the reduced speed school zone. Drivers in school zones must slow down to 30 kilometers an hour, but the city's policy excludes streets not immediately adjacent to school properties. Old Kildonan councillor Devi Sharma says that's creating safety concerns around R.F. Morrison School.
There's an adjacent street, Buttercup, where there's a pathway and it leads into the school green space, and a lot of students are using that route. And there is no 30K there. So there's some concerns from the parents, from the school community. The motion directs city staff to study whether streets connected to schools by pathways should be included in reduced speed zones. It would also look at whether schools on regional roads, major commuter routes with high traffic volumes, should qualify. Transportation manager David Patman says current provincial regulations prevent both.
If there's a city park next to the school and people are traveling through that park to get to the school, the roads that are around that park don't qualify as reduced speed school zone roads.
One grandparent of students at R.F. Morrison School says having some streets near schools with speed limits of 50 kilometers an hour creates confusion for drivers dropping off kids.
They're loading and unloading in cars, that the streets are back to 50, whereas in front of the school it's 30. And I just was wondering about the consistency of that.
Not everyone on council supports expanding school zones. Mayor Scott Gillingham says he wants to see the study before taking a position.
I don't believe 30 kilometers is reasonable for regional roads.
Public Works Chair Janice Lukes worries expanding school zones could create confusion for drivers and slow traffic on key routes. She would rather the default speed be lowered to 40K.
I'm not supportive of seeing a regional road slow down to 30K in front of the school. I'd like to see a bit more of a bigger picture approach.
City staff have until early next year to report back with recommendations. Any changes would require council approval and potentially provincial sign-off. Cameron McLean, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Riley Lachuk here again. And Riley, you have more info about the tornadoes that touched down this week.
Yeah, wild week weather-wise in the province, Marge. I'll get right into it because we've been talking for the last couple of days now about the potential tornadoes, the confirmed tornadoes near St. Anne and east of Morris near Dufrost. I have a bit more information on that now. The Northern Tornadoes Project and Environment Canada both doing a bit of investigation into these and assigning them a default rating of EF0 on the 1 to 5 scale. And this is really just the default rating because, quite simply, there was not much to see. There was no damage. No one was injured. None of these touched down in heavily populated areas, so there wasn't much to assess. I mean, the investigation into these still continue, but at this point, assigning ratings of EF0. So just in case you're wondering, because I know we've been talking about that and how unstable things have been over the last several days, almost the last week over much of Manitoba, and that is thanks to where our upper level winds were. Earlier in the week, I was talking about a bit of a trough in the jet stream to our west and how the jet stream cut up right through Manitoba. Well, now that trough has shifted itself a little bit further east, and that's going to do a couple of things as we get through the weekend here. First, it will cool things down temporarily, but also it ushers in some much drier air from the west as well. So it will lead to things calming down as we get through the coming days here. So even today still, scattered showers, a couple of isolated thunder showers in southern Manitoba, but the bulk of the rain still falling in parts of northern Manitoba, Thompson through Flin Flon into the northeastern part of the province, and that will continue as we get through the night tonight. Even some rain starting to push through central Manitoba and down into the Interlake as we get through the overnight hours. So we're not quite done with the wet weather yet, unfortunately, but once this pushes through as we get through Saturday, things starting on the cloudy side, but you'll see building high pressure to the west, and that is going to really push this out and dry things out as we get through the back half of the weekend. Certainly a sunnier day Saturday into parts of western Manitoba, and Futurecast indicating the potential for some isolated thunder showers once again as we get into Sunday. I wouldn't read too much into that. Things are looking a whole lot drier as we get through Sunday and particularly into the day on Monday. So what this is translating into, another maybe couple of millimeters of rain, if that, out of some of that isolated shower activity, fairly localized in nature. But you'll notice a big difference in temperatures as we get through Saturday, where things are a lot sunnier, close to 20 degrees under a sunny sky in western Manitoba, but where we're into that cloud cover for the bulk of the day, temperatures stuck around 11, 12 degrees through much of eastern Manitoba. Then we rebound a bit, 20 degrees margin to Sunday sunshine, and things looking sunny to start next week.
Thank you very much, Riley.
Welcome.
We'll have more to come after the break. Stay with us. You're watching CBC Winnipeg News.
extreme weather.
We opened the garage door and it just flooded in.
We're not going to be able to salvage everything that was in our basement, that's for sure.
When it hits, CBC is there. For the news you need, choose CBC.
We have reaction tonight to the NDP government's interest in a renewed Manitoba Hydro mega project. As we reported this week, the province is considering reviving Kanawapa, an $18 billion project. As CBC's Bartley Kivas reports, energy watchdogs are surprised and concerned.
In a matter of weeks, Manitoba Hydro will come before provincial regulators with a plan to ensure this province has enough energy in the coming decades. That plan calls for consumers to use less power, while Hydro adds new gas turbines in Brandon and wind farms run by Indigenous-led companies. Nowhere in the plan is there anything about a hydro dam. Documents obtained by CBC News, however, show Wabkinu's NDP government has been trying to revive Kanawapa, a Nelson River megaproject set aside as too expensive when Greg Selinger was premier. Energy watchdogs are confused.
We were surprised because Manitoba Hydro's public plans involve natural gas, wind, and energy efficiency, so Kanawapa is not registering when they do their planning scenarios.
Byron Williams says he's concerned because Manitoba Hydro's last two Nelson River dams, Wesquatum and Kiosk, went billions over budget. He says he's not sure the debt-laden Crown Corporation or the province can afford Kanawapa. Environmentalists also say it would appear to be a waste of cash.
We are in the midst of a renewable energy revolution, and we're seeing wind, solar, and energy storage around the world declining in costs and rapidly being rolled out in many jurisdictions. And so considering new mega dams in the face of that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Manitoba's official opposition says the Canoe government and Manitoba Hydro don't seem to be on the same page.
When you have a government making policy on the fly with a $32 billion corporation, that's $27 billion in debt, that's very concerning for Manitobans.
CBC News saw a comment from Adrian Sala, the minister responsible for Manitoba Hydro, and was told he wasn't available. Manitoba Hydro also declined to comment. Bartley Kivas, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Doctors are raising concerns after a highly specialized physician handed in her resignation. Dr. Alessandra Cassano-Bailey is only one of a handful of interventional radiologists in the province. The specialist uses X-rays and MRIs to perform procedures to help critically ill patients, including in complex cancer cases. An internal letter signed by 14 physicians and staff say the departure will be a huge loss for patients, including this hepatologist.
Without her, we're left having to deal with probably referring patients out of province or out of country for the procedures. We're also left with fewer and fewer interventional radiologists who themselves are really beginning to burn out from the volume of work.
Doctors Manitoba says specialists have raised concerns about lack of resources and staffing. There are worries more could leave the province if nothing changes. In international news now, SpaceX shares went public on the U.S. Stock Exchange on Friday, making it the largest initial public offering in history. This development makes Elon Musk the world's first trillionaire. But what will it do for investors? Some observers think shares in the company are a risky bet. Nisha Patel explains.
SpaceX is now a publicly traded company. Its launch onto the stock markets, one for the history books. The American rocket maker started by tech titan Elon Musk, completing the biggest initial public offering of all time.
SpaceX wants to be able to take you to the moon, take you to Mars, and ultimately beyond.
Shares began trading at $150 US on the NASDAQ and closed near $161, 19% above the initial public offering. That puts the value of SpaceX at more than $2 trillion. The company's vision is bold, from developing reusable rockets to landing on Mars to building AI data centers in space.
It's just such a unique business, and anything tied to Elon Musk obviously gets a ton of fanfare.
And while some enthusiastic investors are buying into the hype, others worry it's a risky bet. Just last year, the company lost $5 billion.
Building these data centers that allow the computing power to generate AI is very, very expensive.
Research firm Morningstar warns shares are overvalued. While its Starlink satellite service has been successful, share prices could plummet if SpaceX doesn't make good on its more ambitious plans.
As low as $40 a share if you really are just getting the rockets and Starlink and the AI doesn't work out, so to speak.
A test for investors will come in the months ahead when SpaceX releases its first quarterly report.
What happens when earnings start to roll out? How does the market react to it? And how do investors value the company over time?
One thing is certain, the IPO has created an enormous amount of wealth for early investors, on paper at least. Some SpaceX employees are set to earn millions, and the Ontario Teachers' Pension Plan, which invested back in 2019, could see a hefty return. The big winner, though, Elon Musk, who holds almost half of SpaceX shares. Taking the company public has made him the world's first trillionaire. Nisha Patel, CBC News, Toronto.
Many parents approve of new federal legislation forcing social media platforms to block access for kids under 16, but they have some unanswered questions. Deanna Sumanek-Johnson explains.
So do you think your friends are going to figure out a way around this?
For mom, journalist and public speaker Farah Nasser, Ottawa's new proposed bill restricting social media for children is encouraging news.
So we don't have many of the details. I think that the great things about it are that we're talking not just about a ban, because we know in Australia kids are still on social media.
Introduced Wednesday, the Safe Social Media Act would force social media companies to restrict accounts for children under 16 years old, with exemptions granted if they can prove adequate safeguards to protect children, and establish the Digital Safety Commission, a regulatory body to oversee the conduct of platforms. This parent advocate says she likes what's in the bill.
Overall, it kind of brings back feelings of hope, and especially because you see that clarity on and the intentions about doing the right thing and prioritizing children.
This expert agrees.
I just felt that the safety by design focus, the establishment of a commissioner, and also this possibility for different service providers to meet a criteria, set of criteria and show that they can be appropriate for kids was massive.
Still, how social media platforms will verify user ages and how the regulator will operate is not clear yet.
The devil is going to be in the details. Will they also be held accountable for the power that they have? There are some concerns over their access to data, that as more of this data is collected, that Canadians' privacy could be at risk.
These parents worry about how the law will be put into practice too. But for them and many others, this is a welcome first step in the battle they've fought alone for a long time. Deanna Sumanek-Johnson, CBC News, Toronto.
Quebec has become the first province to ban caffeinated energy drinks for minors. Legislators voted almost unanimously Thursday to pass Bill 9. It prohibits selling or giving drinks like these to anyone under the age of 16. An energy drink is defined as a beverage with at least 150 milligrams per liter of caffeine and other ingredients. The law also applies to drinks bought online or from vending machines. It officially takes effect in December. New research appears to show popular weight loss drugs like Ozempic and other GLP-1s could also help reduce cancer risk. But health experts are taking it with a grain of salt. They say the connections are not yet conclusive. Here's the CBC's Lauren Pelly with what you need to know.
GLP-1s may have broader benefits beyond weight loss.
These drugs appear to be having an effect in observational studies in both obesity-related and non-obesity-related cancers.
Her own research looked at health records from more than 100,000 overweight women. Those taking a GLP-1 had a 30% lower incidence of breast cancer. The team found the same trend even when taking into account women's age, background, and breast density, suggesting the medications might have a direct effect to ward off risk factors linked to cancer.
They impact pathways associated with inflammation, as well as the pathways that are associated with weight loss.
It's just the latest study showing links between these blockbuster drugs and cancer prevention, but the headlines don't tell the full story. Scientists say there are more questions than answers, and long-term research is needed on GLP-1s, since plenty of drugs show early potential that doesn't pan out. So far, most studies on the links between GLP-1s and cancer are simply looking back at old health data.
Maybe there's an imbalance of certain risks that we didn't actually know or measure.
This Canadian cancer researcher plans to study GLP-1s in a massive clinical trial on cancer survivors. By using advanced blood tests and lengthy follow-ups, she wants to see if the medication actually helps stop cancer from coming back over time.
If you're going to look at the question whether these drugs reduce the development of cancer, you probably need to start off with patients at higher risk.
If GLP-1s work for those high-risk patients, they might help prevent cancer in the general population as well. But knowing for sure could take years, if not decades.
I think it's okay not to know.
This surgical oncologist says, in the meantime, Canadians should focus on what we do know to ward off cancer. Maintaining a healthy diet, staying fit, and avoiding alcohol and smoking.
Before we go to that medication, I would first go through all of those to help reduce your risk.
And if you're eligible for cancer screening programs, those can help catch early signs of cancer before it's too late. Lauren Pelly, CBC News, Toronto.
Winkler's first Pride event is this weekend, and it's getting support from some neighboring communities. That story ahead. Stay with us. After some backlash, support for Winkler's first Pride event is growing. People from other communities are coming in to take part this weekend. CBC's Christopher Garreau reports.
Winkler is a community founded by Mennonites. Many here still follow that faith, including people in the LGBTQ+ community. It's why Covenant Mennonite Church is opening its doors for a Rainbow Church service to start off Winkler's first Pride event this Saturday.
In the gospel story, we find Jesus welcoming all sorts of people, especially people who were marginalized and silenced by the power structures of the day. Those were the people that he seemed especially interested in giving a place and giving a welcome, to the chagrin of some of the power structures.
An online backlash when the event was first announced prompted Brandon Pride to get involved. They moved their rally and march to Sunday so they could charter a bus to Winkler's event. It can fit over 50 passengers, completely funded by donations. Brandon Pride Chair Nora Wilson hopes their support can lead people to feeling the way she does after coming out as trans 3 years ago.
It's allowed me to address past pains and traumas that I've carried for my entire life. It allows me to be happier and healthier. I want everybody to have that right to be themselves so that they can experience the same kind of thing in whatever way that means to them.
Pembina Valley Pride Chair Pauline Emerson Frabe helped unveil a new Pride bench in the neighboring city of Morden Wednesday. Morden held their first Pride in 2019. Emerson Frabe says these events help create a sense of belonging and acceptance.
By having us out there, to be seen that we are your neighbors. We are the people who are, working at your stores. We are the people who are helping you out in your hospitals. We're pretty much everywhere.
After the church service, the main event starts here at noon in Winkler Parkland. Everyone is invited. Christopher Garreau, CBC News, Winkler.
A Winnipeg woman is frustrated and concerned after receiving a letter from Service Canada saying she had been overpaid 20 cents on her CPP disability pension and requested she pay it back. Following an access to information request, CBC learned more than 3,000 similar letters signaling overpayments of under $2 had been sent out between 2024 and 2026. The Canadian Taxpayers Federation isn't impressed.
If the government is paying more to pay for the stamps on the letter than for the amount that is recovered through that letter, there's clearly a waste of dollars and a waste of government resources as well.
According to Federal Financial Administration Act, Employment and Social Development Canada may write off overpayments of 99 cents or less for a select number of programs, including CPP, employment insurance, and old age security. In an email to Radio Canada, ESDC indicated that they were updating how small overpayments are processed. There will soon be a new option for campers looking for a less rustic experience. The province is spending $2.5 million on mini cabins and new washroom facilities along the shore of St. Malo Lake. There's room for up to 6 people inside to enjoy the view. They also include cupboards, outlets, and more. Manitoba's Environment Minister says more mini cabins will be built in other provincial parks.
One of the great things about these mini cabins is that they are accessible. You'll notice that they're wheelchair accessible. They're designed for that purpose so that more Manitobans can enjoy these great spaces. And so for those people that maybe are like me and can't quite get into a tent like they used to, this is a great option for them to enjoy beautiful spots in our provincial parks.
The mini cabins in St. Malo Provincial Park are expected to be available to rent online by the end of the month. The cost is $90 per night and can be booked for up to a week. CBC weather specialist Riley Lachuk joins us once again. Riley, the weekend is here. I know some people thinking about getting outside, maybe camping. We've got Pride in Winkler. We've got the start of the Red River X. So the question is, what's the forecast going to be like?
Yeah, I mean, in Winnipeg at least, it's a bit of a different story on the western side of the province, but in Winnipeg at least, we're looking at a bit of a 50-50 weekend. Still some isolated showers through the day tomorrow, and then a bit of a sunnier day into Sunday, whereas the west into some much needed sunshine as we get through the weekend here. So Let's start. We're talking a little bit earlier about the Pride event that's happening in Winkler. Here's a bit of a forecast for that. We'll talk about the Brandon one in just a moment as well. This one happening Saturday, 16 degrees. Starting to, I think by the time this event gets underway tomorrow, some sunny breaks into southern Manitoba, but can't rule out an isolated shower into the afternoon hours. Sunday, I mean, there's events happening in Brandon for Pride all weekend, but for the march on Sunday, looking at a mostly sunny sky and temperatures around 20 degrees by the time we get into the later morning, early afternoon hours. So certainly, if you're in the eastern side of the province, Sunday definitely the better day to get outside and maybe do some cleanup. And just really let things dry out here, whereas things looking a lot sunnier on the western side of the province right throughout the weekend. I'll go into a bit more detail on your regional forecast in just a moment, but couldn't leave you for the weekend, of course, without Feline Friday. And how about Chaos? Chaos looks like they maybe enjoy a bit of a roll in the dirt every now and then. Thank you, Callista, for sending that picture in. Talkback@cbc.ca is where you can send yours. Looking at the possibility of the best chance of showers, I should say, will be in the morning tomorrow, but can't rule out as we get through into the afternoon some isolated showers across southern Manitoba, particularly into the Red River Valley and the Interlake before we start to get a bit more sun and the wind starts to back off a bit by the time we get into the back half of the day. So looking at temperatures overnight into the single digits, slightly below seasonal for overnight temperatures, 9 degrees in Winnipeg, 8s, 9s into Westman, Roblin 7 degrees with isolated showers continuing through the night. In the Parkland, I think there's a better chance of seeing even some periods of light rain as we get through the overnight hours. Tonight, 8 degrees through the PA, OCN, 6 in Norway, Howson, where we have seen some substantial rain through the day. The possibility of some fog along the Hudson Bay coast and through Gillam and Shamattawa as we see that rain continuing in the west, though some nice sunshine through Flin Flon, the PA, OCN, Lynn Lake into Grand Rapids through the afternoon. Temperatures jumping up to 20 and 21 degrees through the afternoon. And you'll see that clearing happen west to east as we advance even through the morning hours in western Manitoba. Could top 20 degrees through Brandon and Verdun through the afternoon, and we'll eventually get to some of that clearing as we get further east into the Red River Valley through the afternoon. It will be a bit slower, I think, the further east you are in the province. And then temperatures under that sunshine rebound march quite nicely into the afternoon for Sunday, 23s through Portage and Winnipeg, and I'm looking at things around 20 degrees in the Red River Valley. Your 7-day forecast just ahead.
All right, thank you very much, Riley.
Welcome.
Dozens of newcomers to Canada helped clean up streets in central Winnipeg Friday. Volunteers covered the area bound by Isabel and Sherbrooke Streets and Notre Dame and William Avenues. This area is an important first home to many newcomers who receive services from organizations in the area. Welcome Place, Local Investment Toward Employment, and the Canadian Muslim Women's Institute organized the event as a way for people to connect and contribute.
It's a time for these newcomers, first of all, to meet us, the staff, to mingle, to network, and to contribute. And they all volunteered happily to contribute. And because we're newcomer service organizations, they get services from us. They wanted to show that we want to give back.
Organizers say many who took part live in the area. The 100 participants today represented more than 24 countries around the world. Well, a thriller for Canadian fans. Canada's first men's World Cup match, played on Canadian soil, has ended in a tie. The final score, 1-1 against Bosnia-Herzegovina. Here's the CBC's Dale Manudoc with all the highlights.
From the moment this match started, you could just tell how excited everyone was to be here for this moment in history. Nobody took their seat for the first 5 minutes. The first gasp of a moment came in the 17th minute when Jonathan David had an incredible chance but couldn't get enough on it. And then 4 minutes later, Jovo Lukic for Bosnia opened up the scoring by heading one home off of a corner kick. And you could just tell that must have been so disappointing for Team Canada, who had been working on defending corner kicks and set pieces, because that's how Bosnia likes to score. The Bosnian fans were euphoric. There was an incredible section of them on the south end of the stadium seats, and they were chanting the entire time. Canadian fans tried to keep their team going as well. And early in the second half, another great chance for Richie Larea, who tried to pot one home from the left side of the box, but it went off of a defender and off of the crossbar and out. The 61st minute is is when Jesse March made some substitutions, bringing in Jacob Schaffelberg, Promise David and Ali Ahmed, and then in the 76th minute, brought in Kyle Laren, the veteran of this team. Minutes later, absolute chaos as he put one home from the center of the box. It sent Toronto Stadium into a frenzy. You could feel the stadium shaking. Have a listen to how some of those fans took in that moment.
We're both old enough to remember 86, and this is just fantastic to see how these young guys are doing it.
It feels amazing. I never thought we were going to win that, but Laren, it's a screamer. It's a great shot.
I really think we can go far in this tournament. We have the team to do it. We have the positivity.
Oh, it feels awesome. Go Canada, go!
One way or another, history was going to be made today, and Canada makes the right kind by putting up their first point ever in the World Cup. Their next match will be against Qatar. Dale Manukduk, CBC News, Toronto.
Still ahead, are bagpipes having a moment? Enrollment is up 60% at PEI's Piping College. We blow some air into this new trend when we come back.
All right, here's a look at your 7-day forecast, and we are looking at things drying out as we get through the weekend here. So a bit of a cooler one into Saturday, a bit breezy at times, maybe an isolated shower as we get through into the early afternoon. Then we get into some clearing, mainly sunny, 20 degrees for Sunday. Temperatures stay fairly seasonal as we get through much of next week. I'm looking at a chance of showers as we get into Wednesday, and things remaining slightly cooler than seasonal as we get through the balance of next week. Okay, it's been a bit of a chaotic and very wild weather week. So let's end on a weather picture there. Thanks, Kim, for that beautiful rainbow that was taken just outside of Toulon.
Yes.
Both an instrument, Marge, that has been played for centuries all over the world.
Well, a certain Scottish woodwind music maker appears to be enjoying some newfound popularity. Connor Lamont blows some air into our daily lift.
Student Jackson Grady loves the big sound of this instrument.
I love the sound of it. I love the musicality of it. But I do like how loud it is, which is not something everyone likes. But it's something I like.
He's been with the college for 3 years now, and in recent years, more people have been picking this instrument up. With more students, the college needed another instructor.
Of course, it's exciting. It's also, it's kind of full circle. I started here as a piping student. Traveled around the world competing and performing, and to be able to come back and teach and pass it along is very rewarding.
The college says interest in the pipes has grown since the pandemic. And it isn't just the bagpipes. The college says other programs like drumming and Highland dance are more popular right now too. Some students, including myself, are taking lessons through the college in Charlottetown, where there's been some growth as well. Now, I'm just a beginner, still learning on what's called the practice chanter, but I'm hoping to be marching in the band soon. Connor Lamont, CBC News, Charlottetown.
I'm interested in the Highland dancing. I don't think I could do the bagpipes. You?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm musical. I've played a lot of instruments in my life. I know that your little one is probably going to be a sports kid, but maybe music's
is calling. Yes. Thank you very much, Riley. And thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next week.
Enjoy the sunshine this weekend. See ya.
Thank you.